my guides told me, we want you to go look at the Prius. And I thought, that's a new car. I don't really want it. And they're saying, we want you to go look at the Prius. I said, okay, I'll go. So I went to look, and the dealer told me, oh, you can't test drive that car. You can't get it. They're sold out everywhere. And he was kind of a jerk about it. And I went home and I actually got a little bit frustrated. And I thought, I don't care if nobody in the state can get this car. That's not how I roll. If I want it, I can get it tomorrow. So this is my thinking. And I woke up in the morning, and again, I'm meditating. My guides are saying, you just need to expand your search. You need to look at the few cities that are close to you. So I call around. I start heading over to the nearest city. They've got 2 on the lot. By the time I get there, they've got a 3rd one. And the whole time I'm looking at the cars, my guides are saying, buy the car, buy the car, buy the car. Usually they're not quite this insistent. So I was a little bit shocked. I'm like, okay. And it's like, I don't want to spend this kind of money. I kind of want a used car. And they're like, don't worry about the money, buy the car. I'm like, okay, am I going to go all in on this guidance thing and really just follow it, as far as I can go? And I thought, yes, I'm going to do it. So I said, okay, which car do I get? The bottom of the line or the top of the line? They said, which one do you want? I'm like, all right, if we're playing this game, I want the top of the line. So I buy the car, I finance the whole thing. I'm driving home, I'm feeling pretty good. And then the next morning when I'm meditating, I said to my guides, I need you to give a little more information. Like when you said, don't worry about the money, it sounded great, but now I'm a little worried about the money because I've got car payments. I didn't want that. And my guides said something that blew me away. They said, in 2 weeks, you're gonna get laid off from your job. But because you're working half-time, you're gonna get a half-time severance package. We want you to email your boss right now and tell her that you bought a car, you want to pay it off, and you want to go back up to full-time. I thought, okay, that's kind of interesting. And they said, she can't move you to full-time unless you have a reason, but now you have a legitimate reason. So I was like, okay. So I sent an email to my boss. Right away, she emailed back, said, okay, I'm making the change. And I tried to backpedal a little bit. I'm like, oh, I'm not sure because I don't really want to work full-time. And she said back, she just said, Jeff, let me make this change. Let me make this change. And I was like, okay, I'll just let her make the change. I actually went on vacation at that point for 2 weeks. And I called at the end of my vacation and I said, oh, I'm about to come back and start working, but because I'm out of vacation time, but I'd kind of like to spend a few more days out here. What do you think? Because I figured they're going to lay me off. My boss said, yeah, it's okay. Just take a few days off. Next day she calls me, she's sad to say that I'm getting laid off. And I was just so happy. I was like, thank you so much. And she said, nobody's ever said that when I laid him off before. And the remarkable thing was not that I got laid off, but when I got the severance package, it was twice as big as it would have been before when I was working half-time. That extra half paid for the car in full.